Hello guys, welcome to QA Prayogshala. So guys, in today's session, we are going to see one Java problem. Okay, it is very simple problem, but it is asked in many interviews by many interviewers. Okay, so let's try to solve this problem. Okay, together. So the question here is, the ask here is, swapping the two strings without using the third variable. Okay, so here the ask is there are two strings, that is string s1 and string s2. Okay, so we need to swap the values of both the strings without using the third variable. Okay, so here the ask is we need to swap the values of the strings without using the third variable. So let's say for an example, the value of the first string is Java initially, okay, and the value of the second string is Python, okay. So after the execution of the program, the ask is the value of S1, it should be Python, and the value of S2, it should be Java, okay. But here we cannot use the third variable, okay. That is the thing. Third variable in the sense you cannot use the third string variable to hold the value, okay, of any of the strings. If we wish, we can use the integer variable in case if there is any need in the program, but we cannot use the third string variable. Okay, so that is what is the ask here. Okay, so guys, pause this video. Okay, try it out yourselves. Okay. Uh, I think it should not take much time. Post this video, try it out yourself, and then I'll provide my solution to this problem. Okay. Okay. I hope you solved the problem. Okay. So here is my solution. Let's try to solve this. Okay. So again, there are two strings. First string value is, let's say for an example, is Java. Second string value is Python. Okay, so after the end of the program, the value should get swapped. Yeah, that is the ask. Okay. So let's try to solve this. Okay, so let me provide you the brief overview regarding how can we solve this problem. Okay, so let's say for an example, the value of S1 is Java. Okay, or let's say not Java, Apple, or something like that. Let's say value of S2 is something like this. Let's say banana for an example. So here the ask is after the end of this program, the value of S1 it should be banana, okay, and the value of S2 it should be apple, okay. So that is what is the ask here, okay. So here I would like to solve this problem via one concept. Okay, so there is one concept called as a string concatenation. Okay, so we can concatenate two strings by using the plus operator. Okay, and also there is one inbuilt Java method that is called as a substring. Okay, that also we can use here. Okay, so here the concept is, let's say for an example, if I write something like this, S1 that is equal to S1 plus S2 here. Okay, so at the end of this particular line, what will happen is Java will store the value something like this. It will store like this. It will concatenate both the strings. Okay, so it will hold value something like this, that is banana, apple. Okay, now from here what we can do is we can use the concept of substring. We can use the inbuilt method that. So the substring is a method. Okay, how it works is, so let's say for an example here, what we want is we want the value of s1, it has to be sorry, okay, here. Okay. So when you concatenate, it will be something like this. Okay, we want the value of s1 to be s1 plus s2. Okay, so at the end of this program, the value of s1 it should be banana. Okay, and the value of s2 it should be apple. Okay, so because this is the output. Okay? This is the output we want. So this is the output we want. Okay, so here what we want S1 to hold. We want S1 to hold banana. Okay, so this is the substring that we want. Okay, so we can use the inbuilt substring method which is provided by Java. How it works is, so let's say for an example, I'll just give one example. Let's say what I want is, for example, I just want this substring out of this whole string. Okay, so how can I get that? So I can write something like this: S1 dot substring. Okay, and I can provide the start and the end index. Okay, of the string that I want. So here the start index, if you see, it is 0 and end index is 1 and 2. Okay. So here you need to provide the start index value. Okay. So first parameter would be start index value, and next parameter or second parameter, it would be end index value plus 1. Okay. So in this case, it would be something like this: S1 dot substring. Okay, so start index value, what we want is 0, end index value is 2 plus 1, that is 3, right? So here, after executing this particular piece of code, the output or the value which this S1 string it will hold is 833. Okay, so this is the whole concept that we are going to use, okay, in order to solve this problem. So let's get started. Okay, so this was a brief overview on how can we solve this. Okay, so first of all, let's say we want to take the input from the user. Okay, we want the user to enter the string values. So let's say, so for that we need to use one class, that is the scanner class. So I will use scanner class. I'll create one object of the scanner class. Okay, so object we can create something like this, equal to new scanner. Since we want the input, so I will write something like this, that is system dot in. Okay, so this is the object. Now we want user to enter something, that is the first string, right? So I will write something like this: enter first string. Okay, and let's say I create one object of the string, that is S1, that is equal to, I will write like this, that is scanner dot next. So basically this will hold the value which is entered by the user. Now we want user to enter the other string also. So here we can type in something like this. Let's say enter second string. Okay, and similarly, what we can do is, let's say string S2, that is equal to scanner dot next. Okay. Now let's say I want to print that before swapping, what was the value. Okay, so I'll write before swap string values are, and let's say I want to type in the next line the values of string. So I will write backslash n, and let's say plus S1, and for example this is S1 value. Okay, and again let's say in the next line we want to print the value of S2. Okay, so something like this, so that we know that before swapping the values of the string were this. Okay. Now, okay, now coming to this thing. So let's say for an example, I can definitely use one integer variable. Okay, I'll tell you in a while why we are doing this. Let's say in this we want to store the length of the first string, that is S1. Okay, and let's say in this L2 we want to store the length of the second string, Now, in a while, we'll know why I did this. Okay. Now, as per our concept, right? What we want to do is we want to concatenate this strings, right? So that is what we'll do. So let's say S1 equal to, I will write S1 plus S2. Okay. Now the value of S1, it would be what? It would be apple, banana, right? Now what I want is I want S1 to store banana, right? That is what we want. Okay. So I'll use this concept of substring. So here, if you see, right, the index of B is what? Let's count. It is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, 5 is the index of B. And what is the index of A? Let's count that also. That is 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so n index value, it should be n index value plus 1. So here the value or index value of A is 10. So I will write 11, right? So let's say, so here we'll write like this, S1 that is equal to, okay. Basically, if you see, uh, here, if you see, right, the index of B is 5, okay. So index of B is 5, that is nothing, but is that the length of S1, okay, right? Here, if you see, the length of S1 here, right, it would be same, right, as the index value of B, right? So what I will do is, so let's say we'll write like this, S1 dot substring, okay, and L1, comma, what we'll do is, now finally, if you see, the index value of A is nothing but 11, but 11 again is the length of S1, right? Here, if you see, now the length of S1 is 11, right? Here, if you see, after concatenation, okay, so can we write like this, S1 dot length, okay, don't worry. So what we have done is we have done nothing but same thing we have written, okay, S1 dot substring, okay. Here, if you see, I will repeat myself. Here, if you see, the index value of B is 5, okay. If you count from here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, index value of B is nothing but 5, okay. And 5 is the length of S1 string before concatenation. If you see here, the length of S1 is what? 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? But length always, right? Length would be count will always be nothing but the number of characters which are present in this string. Okay. So here it is 5. Okay, if you see. So that is what I have done here. So instead of writing 5, I have written L1. Okay, L1, that is nothing but that is the length of S1 string before concatenation. So that is what I have written. And here the end string is 11, right? Because here you see the index of A is 10, right? And second parameter, it should be 10 plus 1. Okay. So that is what I have done. So now after concatenation, if you see the length of S1, it is what? It is 11, right? Because there are 11 characters present here. So that is what I have done here. Okay. So this is one thing. Similarly, I will apply for S2 also. Okay. I will concatenate S1 plus S2. Okay. And now what we'll do is again we'll use this substring concept. Okay. Now for S2, what we want apple, right? Apple to be stored in S2. Okay. So here, if you see, start index is 0, right? Start index is nothing but 0. So here we can write like this: S2 dot substring start index is 0, and second parameter is the end index plus 1. Okay. So here, if you see, the index value of E is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 4 plus 1, that is 5. Okay. That is nothing but length of L1. Okay. So you can write something like this. Okay, so this is how we can do. L2 is not used, so we can remove this, okay, because it is not used anywhere. Okay, so this is what I have done. So it will return you apple. Okay, now so S2 will store apple in this case, and this will store banana. Okay, and simply what we can do is, okay, what we can do is we can simply type in this message that after swap string values are, and let's say we want to type in the new line, s1 value is plus s1, and let's say for an example s2 value is this thing. Okay, so this is how we solved this. Okay, let's try to run this. Let's see if it is working correctly. Okay, so let me simply run this program. Okay, and let's see if it is running correctly or not. Okay, so let's enter the first string. So instead of apple, or let's enter apple only. Okay, enter second string. Let's say I'm entering banana. Okay, so if you see before swap, string values are s1 equal to apple, s2 is banana. Okay, and after swap, string values are s1 is correct, but here, okay. So okay, we made one mistake, I guess. Okay. Okay, so instead of writing here, we'll write here. Okay, why this happened is, okay, the reason is, if you see now the value of s1 has changed. Okay, s1 value got changed. Okay, because if you see here, s1 value uh, uh, has changed here because of this substring thing. Okay, so this is my mistake. Okay, so make sure that you initially concatenate both the strings. Okay, so now it should work. Okay, so let's run this again. Okay, let's enter the first string. Okay, I'll explain why it didn't run first time. Okay, now why. Okay, now it is working correctly. If you see, before swap, string values are s1 apple and s2 banana. After swap, string values are s1 banana and s2 apple. So it is working correctly, right? Uh, okay, let's provide some other input here. Okay, and check whether it is working or not. I think it should work. Let's say uh, I write first string value is cricket and second string value is football. Okay, so you see it is working. Okay, before swap string values are this and this, and after swap string values are football and cricket. Okay, so earlier why it was not working. Okay, so for that let me explain you. Okay, so what we did is, okay, here before what we were doing is, okay, after concatenation we were concatenating the second string value. Okay, so after this substring thing we were concatenating. So now what will happen is, okay, if I do this, okay, let's say 0 comma 5, or let's say we did 5 comma 11. So now s1 value in that case was banana, right? And now if you concatenate both the strings, okay, s1 plus s2, then if you see the value of s2 is still banana, right? So here the value of s2 is still banana, and if you concatenate both of this, okay, then in that case it would be like this, right? It would have been like this, that is banana and banana, right? And now if you write like this, that is s2 dot substring, and that is, let's say, 0 comma 5 you write, then in that case definitely what we will get, 0 value is this and 5 is 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, so it will return till here. Okay, and this is what it was showing right earlier. So this is the reason it was not working. So make sure that concatenate strings together, that I mean you should write like this, you should code like this. Okay, so concatenate it in one go. Okay, so I hope this program is clear, right? Write in the comment section if you guys have any doubts with respect to this, okay, this problem, and I hope it was clear. Okay, and it is really very important yet very simple program, but it is asked in many interviews. So make sure you practice this kind of problems. Okay. So that's it for today's session.